We learn from our university experiences. Even the most negative events shape our character. The stories of this video represent the harsh reality of student life, but also the tenacious hope of never giving in, but going forward. What was your toughest moment?
I would have to say it was Fees Must Fall, 2015 and 2016, and the aftermath of Fees Must Fall. I think what happened during Fees Must Fall was very devastating, especially in 2016. I had friends that were affected by Fees Must Fall. I have a friend who lived in Tselos where the securities came in and escorted them out, and plus just the things that happened after Fees Must Fall. I think we're still struggling with the same things that were fought for, so just like the financial exclusion of students, and I just don't think that things like that should be happening in 2019. So students are being financially excluded, they can't continue with education because of things outside of their control really much, and so I just don't feel, that's really heartbreaking for me. I think it's devastating to see that people with potential can't pursue education because of financial constraints.
Okay, I can start by this. I came last year, and due to financial issues, they didn't allow me to register. So I stay here and wait for maybe any financial assistant, but I never get one. So I went back home. Then I came this year earlier so that I can fix everything in time. I did fix everything in time. Due to financial problems, it's on my registration it was tough until NSFAS popped in and said, okay, we're gonna fund you because last year you applied and you never get a chance to register because they responded late around June, but I applied in time with everything.
The saddest moment of my life, I think it was in 2016, yeah. After the Fees Must Fall, and then I was told I had to repeat this other module, and they're gonna, for the semester mark, they're gonna use the class test they used and the semester test they used, with which I got a no admission to exam. It was my first ever fail in the university.
The saddest things happened the first day I got here. I made a mistake. The problem was with regards to accommodation, of course. I thought I was sorted, and then my parents started having problem paying up the contract fees and everything. And then I had to go back and get the money. And at that time I was alone. I knew no one here. I remember I was at a garage there by Plumgate. Fortunately, a guy came through to help me out. Because there was someone who promised me accommodation, a cheaper accommodation that my parents could afford, but I had to go get money from the other accommodation, which was a hassle. And then the guy assisted me. I slept at his rest, Tselopele, I remember. And then at times his roommate was there. I didn't have a place to sleep actually, because the guy who promised me accommodation, we couldn't find him. I slept there for 2 weeks, and the lectures at that time had started, and I was left behind with no place to stay. I couldn't say this is where I stay, because at times I remember I even slept there at what's the name of this rest? Kalami Gazeli. We slept at a Gazeli there with some other guys who didn't have a place to sleep. It was a hassle getting the money back from the accommodation, because I remember it took me 4 weeks to get myself together here, because you cannot say that you're studying whereas you don't know where you're staying. I think everyone here has a story to tell, especially us guys. We have a story to tell as first years with regards to how we got here, how it was.
I cannot say it's not necessarily an event. It was just a period in my life in UFAs, and that was the first time I actually came here, and it was the culture shock that I experienced. I've never been exposed to anything like this, obviously, and I'm not sure I'm the only one who, I'm sure I'm not the only one who experienced this. Just the culture, the university culture, and everything that happens outside, you know, like parties and just the way of living. Like, I don't know how to put it, the way of living, because basically I was in boarding school my whole life, you know, and I've never really been exposed to this kind of lifestyle. I had to be my own individual and be able to stand on my own. That's what I mean by a kind of lifestyle. Yes.
There has to be the part where I couldn't play rugby anymore last year. Growing up, I grew up with a family with a lot of big brothers who played rugby, so rugby is the only sport that I've ever played and I've ever liked. So, like, as a first year, when you get to Kovsie, you need to be familiar with the surroundings and things. So, like, you don't know a lot of people. So, I wouldn't say the environment is welcoming when you're still a first year. So, I found it difficult to make new people like that I can play rugby with, and, like, meet new people on the rugby field, and so, because I had to manage between studies and rugby. So with studies, it's mostly like from morning 8 a.m. classes, then the last class could be like at 5 or 7 o'clock. Then you still need to go and go to rugby practice from like 6 to 8. Then you get home, then you're tired, you fall asleep, you can't like manage your studies and things like that. So I made a decision to stop rugby and focus with my academics, so I can balance the two in the following year. So now that I know how does it work with regards to academics and things, now I can be able to play rugby as well and balance the both, because I'm familiar with the surroundings now.
The Fees Must Fall, it was 2016, and so I was coming through the gate by main gate, and I remember walking into campus, and there was a security company that I was hired. They were being called Boko Haram, so that's what they were calling them. And I felt more in danger on campus than safe. And I just felt, and then you'd be sitting on campus, and you'd have SAPS come and ask for verification, like they want to see your student card, and I felt really, it was very invasive. I found it very invasive. I felt very unsafe on campus, especially with them around, and then especially after that Zolos thing happened, I felt even worse. I really felt like the people that came to protect us are actually not here to protect us.
Like, at that time I was lonely. Like, I even questioned myself, why am I here? Like, at times I felt like going back home, of which would have disappointed my parents, of course, because like some of us, especially me, I'd say I'm the second person in the family of 3 wives, and I'm the second person to go to university. And that's a story, like, I don't know, it's monumental, it's very important to the family that, okay, someone else has went to university. So I couldn't have given up at that time. I had to be strong for my family. Yeah.
Thing is, I'm a person who likes to keep fit, because I know once I start lazing around and sit, like, it won't be a good thing for me, because I can easily gain weight. So yeah, I had to like start jogging alone and things like that, and I was used to being on the rugby field. So it was sad for me. For the past few years, I've been fully committed to playing rugby, and yeah, I was no longer on the rugby field. It was the saddest part for me.
It made me lose a bit of my confidence. It really did, because there were moments where I felt like I was not good enough, or, you know, like, yeah, doubt and all those things. So basically, it was just that produced a lack of confidence.
It affected me a lot because, like, I can say, sometimes you have like things to pursue in time, and you set your goals in time. So whenever like you don't like pursue that thing in time, it gives you much problem, and like sometimes you find the self-esteem going down, and mental problems. You do have that emotional health. You see, yes.
It broke me. It broke me because I believed at that time. I believed like I was a hardworking student and that I'm gonna get my degree without even failing a single module. But then that was not necessarily a fail, but then it was a no admission to exam. So you can check the effect of that thing had on me.
I am much confident. I am much confident. I'm happy. I have a positive mindset, and I'm definitely not the same person I was when I was a first-year student.
On a positive side, I learned that helping people is really important. Like, cause right now, like, I'd do anything for someone who's suffering like that, like within my power, or like I'd assist him in any way, like take him to SRC if I have to, in any way, in order to help another African.
It taught me something like, as much as you might think things will work out, they don't necessarily work out the way that you plan them to work out. But then from time to time, you'll have a few setbacks. It's a matter of how you go from that point on going forward. So I guess I had to strengthen up and take it like a man, as they say.
I have learned that you have to accept every situation that comes along your journey, because when like you are opting for a sweet or smooth way, no, you gotta be kidding in your life, because life got, you have to know that in every like way you go, you have to expect that way got dawns.
My party is my room, my laptop, my friends, just intimate, special, real moments, lasting moments. Yes, that's my party. That's my happiness.
Okay, thank you. I feel you.
Yeah.
I'm probably not the best person to ask that, because I was within Fees Must Fall, because I was within Fees Must Fall because it was just something so close to my heart, because it was I was like part of like the people that were making sure that students have a place to stay also, and students go and protest and they march. I was part of that, so I probably shouldn't be the one to tell them like, oh no, stay at home or don't go.